All right, guys, good morning. So today I'm going to show you guys how to make a 1.5 pound ramen noodle bowl. Ramen is very hip right now, but what makes it a ramen noodle bowl compared to something different? All different bowls are different. You have your salad bowl so that you can cut your lettuce without the tomato flying off. You've got your lobster bisque bowl, which is also very similar. So a bisque that you want it to cool really quickly because it just tastes better when it's a little creamier than when it's hot and thin. You have your fruit bowl because you want 2 apples to be next to each other. And then the ramen noodle bowl where we really like it to be warm. We don't want it to be steaming hot, but warm is sort of a good idea. So they tend to be narrow and wider on top. They tend to be in a V shape. So that close-knit sort of surface area allows it to keep the heat a little better. So let's go ahead and make a straight angle ramen noodle bowl. So because I want my bottom to be super narrow, I don't want my amount of clay to be really wide. I want to allow for a little bit of space for the floor, but I don't want like something I would do for a fruit bowl. So as I center the clay, I'm just going to sort of keep that in mind. I'll even invite the pinky in a little to make it a little narrower on the bottom, or my ring finger is curved just a little bit. That's going to give me sort of that little bit of a narrow bottom. As I start to pull, I'm going to work on that a little better. So to me, a ramen noodle bowl is a cylinder because it has an angle, or I prefer to put an angle on the bottom. So I'm going to go in there with one thumb stacked up with the other thumb. I want a real good foot on my ramen noodle bowl. It's just something that I prefer as well. So I'm going to give myself about that much clay. Go inside. Because I said that it's a cylinder, I'm going to go straight. And I'm only opening about, I don't know, let's say 3 inches. Okay, so obviously when we make bowls, the biggest mistake is we start to go out immediately. Centripetal force goes, yay, plate. But we're trying to make a bowl, but we want it to be a very come off the table sort of bowl. So I'm going to start with a pull going up. I slowed my wheel down just a little bit. I'm going to get in there with my finger. I don't want to waste any clay down there. And I'm going to go up. As I get to the top, I'm going to put less pressure on my lip. What I want to do when I start to pay attention to this bowl is to keep my lip a little thicker. I'm going to tell you guys later why that is. You're going to see why it comes into play. Go down here again, scoop up that clay down on the bottom. Notice I'm still going up, so if someone just walked in, they would never know that I'm making a bowl. Loosening up at the lip. Doesn't take long to throw a pot. Get my finger in there so I can get that sort of right angle again. I'm wheeling with a little bit of a wonky bat here, so I'm trying not to yank it off for the sake of YouTube videos. Okay guys, so again, it doesn't take long to throw a bowl. Now notice that my bowl sort of insinuates a bowl now, right? It kind of at least is not going straight up and down. Okay, but now it's not really big enough. It's not gonna hold what I need. So this is why I kept the lip thicker. By keeping the lip thicker, when I go ahead and yell bowl and stretch this into the shape that I want, now I have enough clay up here so they could still have a stable lip. If this is a 1/2 inch thick, when I pull it out here, it'll be 3/8 of an inch, which is ideally still thick enough to help me keep this pot round. The biggest error when you're making a bowl is making your lip too thin. You'll sit there and after the second firing, you go, oh my God, why is my pot warped? It's usually because you have a thin lip. So you can go ahead and use your plate rib, or I have this kind of giant rib. I may end up using this. I'm gonna wet the tool. Then I'm gonna put my tool at the angle that I want my final product to be. Again, holding it in the hole. My hands are attached to the tool. My wheel's going relatively slow. I want to start down on the bottom. And I want to push this clay up against that side of the rib until I get to the top. Oh, it's a little wonky. Okay, I didn't fix that. Maybe I'll go back to my smaller tool. I just about when you use tools that are too big, I think that's just what I did. Go down here again, stretch, push up against the side of that plate rib. Gonna lift that rib just a little bit. So I'm gonna actually talk about a small little error that I made just now. So you see this little this spot here that seems like it's not really going straight up and down. If you were to feel my walls, if we eventually have, field vision, you would feel that that was a little thinner right under here than the rest of the wall. So it has a little bit too much give over there. Let's see if I can correct that. Yeah. All right. So the next one I'll know better. Okay. So this is sort of that angle that I'm looking for. Please excuse the little mess up in there. I'm going to get the water out of the inside of my pot. Go ahead and fix that lip. I'm going to take off the excess down on the bottom there. That's an idea of what I'm looking at here as a final product. Okay, and I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to call it. Straight edge, the inside straight edge. I'm going to throw another one and just see if we can correct what we've just done, that mistake.